so many big games this week, because that was Saturday. On Sunday night, we had, this is one of the games where we didn't get 4 goals from either side, but we had Roma against Napoli, which was a really sort of compelling game. I don't know if entertaining is the right word. Maybe it was entertaining.
No.
I don't know. But it was a sort of fascinating game. I think in a certain sense, exactly what you expected. Jose Mourinho, big game against a team that he knows is better than his team. What's he going to do? He's going to park the bus. He's going to have everyone deep. He's going to hold it together. He's not going to give you much breathing room, and he's going to look for something on the break. And, it could have worked. The game was 0-0 for a very long time. At 0-0, there was at least sort of a couple of little moments. I'm thinking one in particular in the second half where Zaniolo gets free and gets the ball across, and Pellegrini's there, and you think this is how you win the game, right? Like, you keep it 0-0 for a long time, and you find that one moment with these talented forward players you have. But no question that Napoli were the more expansive side, the more ambitious side, the better side, I think we can say. And in the end, it was their sort of star who unpicked everything, which was Victor Osimhen, who, what a goal, Mina. It was Van Basten-esque. It was I heard someone call it, and I thought, well, it's not really Van Basten-esque, I suppose, but it's that same sort of shot across goal that everyone likes to think of when they talk about Marco Van Basten.
What I think is so surprising is that he had this beautiful chance before that he missed. And you're thinking, oh, for goodness sakes, like, that was such an easy one, And then he scores that one. And you're like, wow, where is this? Where is this beauty coming from? But we've spoken about it last week, right? Osimhen is so important to Napoli, and just what he can produce at a night when, let's say, Kvaratskhelia wasn't having the most awesome night. But I'll be honest with you, it does, like, Mourinho got lucky in the sense that, I think anyone who plays Napoli will get lucky if Anguissa is not available in midfield, or Lobotka. But both of them, to me, are like, you have both of them on the pitch and they will win you everything together. But I feel like when he's not available and Ndombele is not the right sort of cover for him, if that makes sense. A little bit like how if Brozovic is not available, who do we pick? And now Inzaghi has found a way, right? But Ndombele is not the right guy for Anguissa, because Anguissa brings that perfect balance to the team, right? He's so simple passes forward, physicality, intelligence, tactical intelligence beyond my wildest dreams sometimes, And having him allows Lobotka to do so much more to unleash the attack, which you just don't have when he's bogged down. Pellegrini is forced to defend, man mark. I watched this Roma team and I think I still want more. I understand why you're going to park the bus. It's Napoli. I get it, But your attack, you're saying a few shots. You guys have had 30 shots and not scored goals, Like, you've won only with slim margins because Zaniolo and Dybala, Zaniolo and Ibrahim have had like 70 chances between them and scored nothing. So what makes you think that this is the right way forward unless you're going for a draw? And I just kind of wish that Belotti is not... Yeah, so you are going for a draw, and I just kind of, and then he gets upset when they call them a defensive team. It's like, just admit it, And I just feel like Shmurodov is the perfect guy for the counter-attack. And I kind of just wish he was a little bit more embraced in all of this. He's quick, he's fast, and he's lost all his confidence. And Belotti is the guy you're relying on, really, over a young Eldor Shmurodov who, anyway. These are just my opinions, but it upsets me that he went for the draw, because I think Roma could have been good enough to do something different, Yeah,
we talk about players missing from everyone, of course. I know in Mina's book he would have done nothing in this game anyway because of the game it is and big games and Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala not being there.
He would have made a difference. He would have. He would have.
He could have made a difference. He could have done. Certainly when Dybala has been on the pitch. Yeah, when he's been on the pitch this season, he's been more impactful than, say, Tammy Abraham. Sorry to say it, but Tammy Abraham is not having a good season so far. So that's a loss for Roma. But yeah, it was a very sort of predictable game plan from Mourinho. I think it surprised nobody to see him play this way. And if you're going to play this way, then you've got to not concede a goal, basically. It's as simple as that. We can talk about, I guess, sort of X's and O's, as it were, like on the chalkboard, like, how you're going to try and outmaneuver someone. But in the end, you've got to not concede a goal. And I think that part of what makes that sort of I guess, a criticism in this case is, did you really believe that you could stop Victor Osimhen from getting a good chance all game? Because that's the thing, isn't it? Chris Smalling actually played a pretty good game at centre-back. Did a pretty good job with Osimhen all game.
Yeah.
But if you're going to give him 90 minutes, Victor Osimhen's going to get a chance. And he did. I don't know on the other side of that. I don't know that I believe that Roma could have done different. I don't know that I think that if Roma had tried to play this toe-to-toe with Napoli, it would have gone better for them.
Yeah, I see your point as well, because it's like you're not going to have the technical level that they do.
Yeah, and there was some stuff that was impressive, right? It's impressive that Kvaratskhelia was basically a non-factor in this game. He's someone who every other game has been, not every other game, but most of the season has been so dominant, and he wasn't, which is a credit to the way you've set up, right? You've managed to take someone who's playing brilliantly and neutralise them. I think you make a really good point about Ndombele. And Ndombele and Danguisa, we're not talking about the same category of player in terms of impact or in terms of how they play. So that is definitely an advantage for you. But there's still so much quality in this Napoli team. They're just better than Roma. They are. And I think what this is more than anything is a reminder to me that despite my early pre-season prognostication that maybe now Roma could be a dark horse for the title, Roma aren't a dark horse for this title. No, they're not in that category with the teams that are going to compete for the league. And
I guess I do see where you're coming from. Like, they're not going to try to win this game, right? Because they can't go toe-to-toe. But then you just think that Atalanta's team is, I mean, you look at the players on there and you just think they're not that great, right? You know? And so, and like, that's always what everyone sort of talks about when it comes to Juventus, because it's like, look at the players. They're so much better than what the results are. So you have to blame the coach for this. And I don't know, like, if I'm Mourinho, I would have probably done exactly the same as him. But I do feel like, I don't know why I'm expecting so much more of Roma. I'm expecting something a little bit more. I'm expecting Pellegrini to focus more on his attack than man marking. You know, it's things like that I guess upset me. But one thing that is true is Smalling was terrific. And I just feel like the team should have had more than 0 shots on goal. So that's it. And somehow everyone loves Mourinho, but every other coach is terrible. And Mourinho is still wonderful, even though he goes on and plays games with no shots on goal. But, you know, Inzaghi is the worst coach in the world. And so I don't know, you know, I guess I'm more angry with how he's viewed despite these performances.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. There's certainly been a lot of these sorts of games from Mourinho. I think, yeah, he's still pretty popular in Rome, but I think a lot of fans of teams that he has managed feel the way that you do about the lack of excitement in watching his team sometimes. But look, another great result for Napoli. 11 games into the season with 9 wins and 2 draws. I don't know that sometimes it feels like it's hard to say something new about this team because they just keep doing what they do, which is winning big games. I think, one thought I did sort of want to just highlight is that this season so far, they've already gone away to Lazio and won. They've gone away to Milan and won, and they've gone away to Roma and won. Now, we're a long way from the end of the season. A lot of things will happen between now and the end of the season. There's a World Cup in the middle of the season. But in terms of just like crossing off some of the difficult games you're going to have to play during a season, that's 3 pretty nice ones to have crossed off with 3 points in all of them. Like we know now that Napoli don't have to go to Lazio again. They don't have to go to Roma again. They don't have to go to Milan again. Those are all points in the bag. And I think that's worth noting, perhaps more than worrying about actual league standings.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they don't win this Scudetto, I'll punch them myself.
Serie Chronicles is a Chronicles production.